We're going to do a little test on some oils that I've come across that tech for rust prevention. One of the things doing competition and things like that, we get covered in rain and dirt and mud, and rust is always an issue, and there's a lot of different markets on the, or a lot of different products on the market, so we're just going to try a few things out. I've got the good old-fashioned Rem Oil, got some of this Birchwood Casey Barricade rust preventer, and then kind of a new product on the market that's called pig lube. A lot of people kind of laugh at this because it's synthesized bacon grease. We'll try it out, and then I'm going to have just a control area. I'm going to kind of advance a little bit. I've got some vinegar and salt mixed in right here. We're just going to do a spritz and keep track of it for a little while and see how well it goes. So I've ground all the paint off of this old bed rail, and then I've wiped it really good with rubbing alcohol to remove any oils that it might have had. So I'll go ahead and show how we're going to do this real quick. First of all, I'm going to do the pig lube. It has this applicator on it, and we're just going to wipe this area here, the first section, down real good. Make sure everything's good and coated. And then the next one, I'm going to use the Barricade. I'm just going to do it separately so it doesn't overspray. And then good old Rem Oil, tried and true. Alright, and then the last one will be our control group. So again, I'm just going to take this vinegar and salt mix and spritz this on here real good. We'll just do this every day for a little while and see. You can tell that some of them are beating up. The Rem Oil actually seems to be beating up the biggest. I don't know if that means anything, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Alright, so it's been about 3 days here on our little rust test. I've been using the vinegar and the salt cure. It's a rainy, cold day here in Utah, about 40 degrees. And I'm going to show you some of the results that we've got here. Hopefully they show up on the camera well. But what we've got is, here's our control group. And you can see a lot of the rust. Here you can see the Rem Oil, also a lot of rust. Very little difference between that and the control. Here's our Barricade. Looks like it's slightly less rust, but the one thing I want to point out here is for the pig lube. There's quite a bit less rust than all the others, and if you can tell, water is still beating up on it. So after 3 days of staying wet, moist, or whatever the case in the sun and the conditions, the pig lube's the only one that still appears to be repelling water. So one thing I want to do now is, most people get their gun wet, they just put more lube on it, and we'll see if that removes any of the rust or how it does with that. So I'm just going to dry it up here a little bit, and actually what you can see maybe is just by wiping the old pig lube off, I haven't put any new oil on it. All the brown has come right off. So there's a little bit of discoloration, but for the most part, most of the rust come off. I'm going to try that with the Barricade, and a little bit of the rust come off, but still looks pretty ugly. Over here to where the Rem Oil was, a lot of rust is coming off, but a lot's being left behind too. You can still see it actually ended up looking a little better than where the Barricade was, even though it looked worse to begin with. And then in the control, a lot of the rust came off, a lot of metal been discolored and things there, so I'm going to add a new coating of oil on these and see what it looks like. So I'm going to put the pig lube on here. Maybe rub it in a little bit. Yeah, it looks like most of the rust is gone. Just a little bit of distortion from the vinegar and stuff, but pretty good. You're gonna spray some Barricade on here. Rub it in real good. And surprisingly enough, the one that was supposed to be the rust preventer seems to be the most discolored still. And open up the Rem oil here. Get a little on my towel. Rub it in real good. And then I'm just going to leave the control the way it is. Just thought I'd add a little more to the end here. You can see here's the final with the pig lube after 3 days of having a vinegar and salt mixture put on it. It still looks really good even out here in the rain. It was also repelling the water still. The Barricade is pretty oxidized. I'm kind of surprised by that. Rem oil, even though it looked worse than this did before we wiped everything off, it came back pretty quickly. And then the control still very rusted out here in this weather. So hopefully you enjoyed it. You can check out any of these products. I am pretty impressed with the new pig lube that I've picked up. It seems to lubricate very well. Also appears to do pretty good on the rust prevention. So thanks again.